What's going to be my new strategy for coping with stress? So food can't be part of that strategy if your weight loss surgery is going to be successful. Because as you've probably heard, you can eat out your pouch. You can not lose the weight to the extent that you want to lose it. You'll lose some weight, but not all of it. And you can wind up going back out, and you can also cause yourself medical problems if you can continue to graze and out-eat your pouch. You can cause yourself physical health problems, gastrointestinal problems if you're overeating and dumping all the time, right? We're not talking so much about worrying about what you eat only, how much you eat, but what you choose to eat. So your new coping strategy is to set aside the good snacks, pre-package them, so when you want to grab for something, you grab for the good snack instead of the bad snack. And we don't buy the bad snacks in the house. And if we buy the bad snack, then we have to eat one or two and throw it out the car window, except don't hit anybody. Try to throw it in the trash can. You never eat in front of the TV. Does everybody know that? Do not eat while you're watching TV. Has everybody heard that before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Why don't you eat in front of the TV? Because you forget what you're eating. There's commercials inundating you. You don't pay attention to how much you eat. You don't want to eat when you're overtired. When you're overtired, you want to go for the quickest, fastest thing, the most sugary, salty thing, because you just want to have that being satiated, and you want to move on to going to bed or doing whatever else or getting home. You don't want to eat when you're bored and tired. It's the worst time to eat. It's the first time that you're going to overeat and wind up dumping, so you don't want to do that. It's very easy in our old self to assume that every time something goes wrong, it's always about me. It must be me. That person wouldn't have done that if it wasn't something about me. If they didn't like me, if I wasn't smart enough, pretty enough, if I was thinner. So it's easy to be of the mindset of my weight is always the problem, and therefore I'm the problem, and to take I'm the problem even after the weight is gone with you. Your fulfillment in life is not about food. Your fulfillment in life is about you and the behavior of what you do and how you participate with others and how you socialize. So the focus is no longer on what you're eating and what you're putting in. The focus is on what you're putting out. What you're putting out to others socially, how you feel about your interaction with them, how you feel about what their boundaries are with you and what your boundaries are with them. It's about taking social responsibility rather than focusing on how much can I take in to self-medicate so I don't have to deal with everything else around me. Part of losing weight means becoming more aware of who and what is going on around you in a way that becomes, I think, much more acute than ever before. So it's a matter of rethinking how you think about how you eat and what's enjoyable to you. What has become enjoyable to you? And one of the ways to shift your focus on that is through exercise. As you exercise and you start trimming down as part of losing weight through your exercise, your body craves less junk. Has anybody noticed that? Your body starts to naturally crave less junk. And if you're at the point where you can do sit-ups and you can do these types of things, then you're at the point where, as you do those things, your body craves less and you can get down less. For some of us who have been overweight, maybe it's about getting in touch with me and my relationship with the universe, where my goals are, what my perspective is, and how I feel about, am I connected to something more than myself? And as part of my feeling lonely in this process and anxious is because I'm feeling disconnected. Therapy. A lot of people say, and I've talked to a lot of people across the country who say, I don't like going to counseling, I don't want to go to counseling, I was fat, I don't need psychological help. You know what? Counseling can be a lot of different things. It can be dance therapy, it can be music, it can be art, it can be movement. It could be going to a woman or males group that has nothing to do about your weight and normalizing your experiences. That some of the things that you've gone through in past hurts and relationships that you've had are things that thin people go through too. It's not just relegated to having been fat. Learning to say no. Learning to say no is huge. Not just no with food, no with people. One of the reasons that we eat is because we don't know how to say no. I don't want to do that. I don't want to take your phone call. I don't want to have this relationship. Relationships could be aunts, uncles, family members. It doesn't have to be boyfriends and girlfriends. It could be anybody. I need an hour a day That's just my hour a day. And one of the ways that I get my hour a day, my coping strategy, is to use the gym. Because I don't like going to the gym. I hate it. I hate it. But I feel better after I go. And so one of my things is, I have my little music tape. Sometimes I have like a little spiritual tape. It's not a religious tape, but just some like meditation thing. And in the gym, I tune everybody out. But I find a way to focus on what I'm doing and not focus on what everybody else is doing. How many of you look in the mirror and still see yourself as fat, just huge? Yeah, most of the room. Right. So again, it's a matter of it's going to take time. Give yourself time to heal. A surgery is a day. The emotional after effects of undoing what you've done to yourself sometimes takes a couple of years. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not like you went in and you just, clipped here and you clipped your brain. You didn't clip your head when you clipped your stomach. Some of you are going to say, God, my skin. I lost all the weight, but this excess skin makes me feel so sexually unattractive. And that's going to keep you in the cycle of, I don't want to get undressed. If people only knew what's underneath it, the guilt and the shame, the guilt and the shame. You have to deal with the guilt and the shame if you're ever going to feel good about your success of losing the weight. For some of you, it's not going to be enough just to put your clothes on and then feel like underneath it when you come home, you're afraid you're a disaster underneath it. You have to work through those emotions. I really suggest you talk to somebody and go to the support groups about those emotions, and don't be ashamed and embarrassed about them, because just about everybody's feeling it. Everybody's got something that's not going to go back into place. And that's okay, and don't compare yourself to somebody else who says, oh, my stomach went back to size. Everybody's got different collagen levels in their skin. Everybody's got a different genetic makeup. You've got to deal with what you've got. Keep a journal, and everybody says this, but write 3 to 5 things. Anytime you write more than 5 things, really 3 is good enough. 3 is just enough for you to stay focused and accomplish what you want to accomplish. So if you write a journal, 3 to 5 things you've accomplished every single day, no matter how small, that have gotten you further to whatever your new goals are. Not just your weight goals. You're developing your whole self now. As you're losing the weight, you're now developing a whole new you. You're not just developing a fat to thin person. You're now living a better quality of life that you wanted to live. That's why you're doing this. So part of that is get a little journal, I have a little black book, and I write in 3 things that I did that day that furthers me on other areas of my life, other goals that I have. You don't have to be like everybody else. You just have to find out how to be a healthier new you.